what I'm going to tell you is resentment is not going to kill me. I'll tell you that much. Resentment is not going to kill me. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome or welcome back. This is Life with Leah. Today I am getting ready for a basketball games for my kids today. But I've been reflecting on the things that I've learned since turning 40. And I wanted to share some of those things with you as I got ready. So um, I'm 41, 3 kids, I work full time, I'm married. And there's a couple of things. I feel like there's two categories. There's physical and non-physical things that I have learned. So definitely stay until the very end because I feel like the last one hits the hardest. So just to start, what I've done so far, I washed my face. I just put on the cream that I use for my eczema. So that's where I'm starting. All right, so physically speaking, I think the first thing is that sleep has gotten harder. I am not someone who struggles with sleep. I have never been someone who struggled with sleep, but now I'm at the age where I need my pillow. I need the perfect temperature. I need my white noise. I have supplements that I take to help me calm down, magnesium complex, ashwagandha. I need the perfect hydration balance. Okay. I have to have enough water that my mouth isn't dry, but not so much water that I'm going to get up and go pee. And a good night's sleep is like something to be celebrated. It's not something that comes automatically. So that's definitely different than when I was younger. Um, Another thing I feel like is different physically is that I don't recover the same way as I used to. I was an athlete. I've been an athlete since I was young, since I was probably 7. I started playing sports competitively, not like competitively, but like playing against other kids, right? And I used to get banged up. The next day, you're back at it. My dad is a physician, so you throw some Motrin at it, and that was all you did. But since turning 40, it's not quite the same. Um, I, in the last year and a half, have nursed 2 hip flexor injuries, one on both sides, just getting through a shoulder injury. And yeah, it doesn't, like, my hips, I hurt one climbing over baby gates. And the other one, I was coaching 5-year-olds playing soccer. So it doesn't take much to get injured. And it took me all of like a year and a half to actually feel normal again. So you can't just go out there and start playing like you used to. You got to warm up, you got to cool down. And injuries just take a lot longer to recover from. I think also on a physical note, um, my cycles. Hooey. I think this is what perimenopause feels like, but my cycles, I'd never been one to really feel like I had PMS. That wasn't like my story. I never had heavy periods, never had like lots of cramping. Bless the Lord. But recently, just like emotionally with my cycles, I am all over the map. Like during mid cycle, near ovulation, I am up. You can't tell me anything. I've got great energy. I feel fantastic. I feel like I'm creative. I feel like there's other energy that's moving. But it's like, it's amazing. I feel fantastic. Now, after that couple of days around mid cycle, and I'm coming down the hill into towards like my period, I tell ya, it is irritable, I'm tired, I feel like my brain is foggy. Um, and these swings are so much bigger and so much more dramatic than they used to be. And so that is really quite a frustration, quite honestly. I don't love it because I feel like I'm at the mercy of these waves. But one thing that I have learned is that I feel like there's wisdom in each of those parts. I've named one with these. I have different personas. Like one persona is like the creator, and one is the oracle. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that. But um, I don't know. I just that has been a huge difference for me. I think another um, difference has been like my skin has changed. This I think has been a positive one. This has been nice because even though my emotions go crazy with my cycles, I feel like my skin has really like evened out. I found a great combination of things that work well for my skin, and I'm not getting the breakouts that I used to get when I was younger. Um, my mom has fantastic skin. She's just got great skin. And so I'm glad that I came by that honestly. But I also feel like I have found a great combination of things that work really well. Like I used to get like pimples every time I would come near my period, and I feel like I've kind of grown out of that. If you're interested in seeing like what my skincare routine is, subscribe. I plan on making a video about that at some point when I figure out how to film myself in the bathroom. I'm learning, I'm growing. Um, but yeah, so I think my skin has gotten a lot better. But my skin has also gotten more sensitive. Now, I've always had very sensitive skin, eczema, atopic dermatitis. I can't just use anything on my skin. And I think that has just become a little bit more amplified the older I've gotten. Um, I now use a very specific um, makeup brand. This is the makeup that works for me without breaking me out. Um, I've got my unscented lotions and things, so it's just I got to be very careful there. I've also noticed that my hair is different. So my hair is thinner than it used to be. I'm coming from someone who got a lot of identity by how much and how thick my hair was. That this has been a tough one. This has been a tough one. It's just a genetic thing, and I've been working with the dermatologist trying to slow it down. Um, but my hair is just not as dense as it used to be. Now, this is a catch-22 because there are some hairstyles that I feel like I can do more easily now because I actually have less hair. Like the wash and go was always just a struggle for me because I have different textures of hair in different places. And uh, and I didn't get it, you know. But now with a little bit less hair, it actually works out really nicely. The volume is where I want it to be, so it's a little ironic, but that's some changes that I'm getting there. Also, the grays coming in. I don't know if you can see those. Um, the grays are just kind of disrespectful. They just have their own, like their texture is not the same as the rest of my hair. They don't behave the same. They don't get styled the same. They just are renegades, which is a little bit funny. But yeah, just working with those, seeing what we got going on. All right, so transitioning away from the physical and kind of more towards the emotional, mental. Um, I think I am beginning my descent, or maybe it's an ascent. I'm beginning my ascent into that uncensored grandma. Um, as a self-proclaimed people pleaser, a recovering people pleaser, I have to be really careful because I am one that will abandon myself for the comfort of the people around me. Um, it is, just something that we learn growing up, that it's easier to be easy, easier not to rock the boat, and that maybe it doesn't matter what you're thinking or feeling, other people's feelings are more important. And I think I'm coming into a season where I'm learning that it is safe to share what I'm thinking and feeling, and that it is necessary, because what I'm going to tell you is resentment is not going to kill me. I'll tell you that much. Resentment is not going to kill me. And so, in my friendships, in my family relationships, in my romantic relationship, I am learning how to speak my piece kindly, but say what I need to say so that I am not being eaten up on the inside all the time. So yeah, I think that's one of the bigger things that I'm learning in this ripe old age of 41. Now, if you are interested in just following my journey in my learning and my growing and what it means to be in middle age, come with me, man. I'm figuring this out as I go. So I would love to have you join me. We can learn together. Comment down below is if you're 40 or over, what's something that you've learned in the last few years that you're like, man, my younger self would never have gotten this. Let me know what you're thinking there. And last but definitely not least, is you get this wake up call when you turn 40. I don't know if it's just a social thing, if it is a societal thing that we put a lot of weight socially on turning 40. But there, you kind of like reevaluate life at this point. There's a clip that I think it was Tim Ferriss interviewing Brene Brown. If I can find it, I'm going to include it here. If I can't find it, basically what they were saying, Brene Brown, a fantastic psychologist and motivational speaker, she was saying, when you turn 40, the universe, life, whatever, grabs you by the shoulders and looks you in the eye and says, hey, you are halfway to dead. I'm not effing around. What are you doing here? And I definitely feel like I had that wake up call. I think when you're 40 or when you're approaching this time in life, you start to reevaluate the things that you've been taught. You start to reevaluate the things that you have done, the decisions that you have made. And this is why a lot of relationships change or end at this time in life, because people are like, man, what am I doing? Is this actually what I want to do? And I've got this kind of mantra where learn, unlearn, relearn, where you look at the things that you've learned and then you determine, okay, is this something that is serving me? Is this something that I think is really true? And sometimes you got to unlearn a lot of those things about your self-worth or about how the world works or whatever. And then you get to kind of relearn what is true for me, what is true now. Maybe it just was a different world back then, and now we're having to relearn things. And that's tough. You have to like look yourself in the eye and reckon with some things and really dig deep for understanding. And it's not easy, but it's really rewarding when you're like, man, you get to become the most authentic version of yourself at this time, because you're a little bit more free from social pressure and you're willing to ask questions and make changes that maybe you weren't so willing to do whenever you were younger. So, yeah, this is, 40 is good over here, y'all. If you're not there yet, God willing, you'll get there. It's actually been a lot of fun. It's actually been a lot of fun. It's challenging, but overall, it's been a really good time. So I hope, let me get this hot pony. All right. Well, I hope that this was in some way enriching for you. Maybe you are anticipating some of these changes. Maybe you're like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I've been going through. We're figuring out life over 40. It's going to be an awesome ride. Um, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. There's more where this is coming from. This is just me speaking from the heart. So, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.